Alrighty guys, welcome back, and in this video what I want to do is show you guys an additional way that you can export modules. And there are actually a couple different ways, but this is one of the more common ones. So I figured if you ever saw the syntax, then it wouldn't, throw you off. So we learned before that anytime we want to export a bit of code from a module, then we use this module.exports variable, and we gave pretty much our variable custom name and value, which in this case was equal to a function. Now, just like before, if we wanted to say export this Chappy function as well, then we can give it a name of Chappy, and that would be equal to print Chappy. Simple enough. Now, this may be kind of confusing, and you may be looking at this saying, okay, this is kind of repetitive because we're typing our code right here, and then we have to go ahead and pretty much type it all again whenever we say we're going to export it. Wouldn't it be better if we had a more efficient way of doing this? Well, check this out. I'm going to delete this code. Actually, let me leave it right there for right now. Alright, so to clear things up, let me explain it like this. This module that exports, this is actually an object, and in every single file that you create, it actually has a module if I could type it. It actually has a module.exports object by default. So again, whenever you first create a module, what Node.js does is it throws this in, even though it's kind of behind the scenes, and it sets this equal to a blank object. So what we were doing in the last tutorial is we were pretty much adding name and value pairs to this object. So then whenever we wanted to import it, it goes and it looks for this object, and whatever's inside it, in this case avatar and print chapter function, then that's how it knows what it wants to export or import if you're looking at it from the other point of view. However, since we know that now, what we can actually do, instead of just writing our functions and then saying we want to export them one by one, we can actually write our functions directly inside this object. So how do we do that? Well, check it out. Of course, every function, and we can also export variables too, just like a JSON object, it has a name value pair. So if we want to make that print avatar function, we would just call it something like print avatar and set it equal to an anonymous function, and it would just be like console.log, and I'll just write the name avatar. Too lazy to type all the ratings and stuff. Alright, so again, what this would do is essentially the same exact thing. We could use, actually let me just go ahead and demonstrate this right now. So now what we're doing is we're saying this is the code that we want to export. Pretty convenient because we only had to write this function one time. So now we can just say movies print avatar and check it out. It would print out avatar. Now we can also do this with additional functions. Let's say we had a couple functions in here. Maybe print Chappy. Chappy, we can use that as well. And also, let me clean this up a little bit. And also, if we just wanted to export plain variables. So say that we had a variable called like favorite movie or fave movie, and we set this equal to like I don't know, like the matrix. Then we can do that as well. So again, what we're saying right here is any code inside this object is what gets exported whenever we try to import it somewhere else. So now we can just, I don't know, do something like console log movies.favemovie, and that'll work as well. So again, that's what's going on behind the scenes. Anytime that you create a module, it gives you a blank module.exports object by default, and you can populate it with whatever you want, functions, variables, whatever. So hopefully you guys understand a little bit better, and if you guys prefer this method, then feel free to use it. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, see you later.